to the Dunwoody Dialogues. We're so glad you're here. I'm Mark Galvin, your host, and you're tuning in to the worldwide headquarters of Discover Dunwoody. We are the destination marketing organization for Dunwoody. And what does that mean? That means we help folks learn about places to stay, places to eat, places to shop, or even places just to go play here in Dunwoody. Glad you're here. I want you to know I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, go to our website, discoverdunwoody.com, to learn about all of those great things. But we're not here to talk about our website today. Here's what we're here. We're here to introduce you to somebody new, introduce you to someone who has an impact potentially on the travel industry or others. So go check out our old shows. There's a lot of great interviews that are out there. But today, I want to introduce you to a dynamic guest. We have known our guest today for a long time here at Discover Dunwoody. She has built an incredible career in the hospitality and events industry. Her name is Lauren Andrews, and she's the owner and founder of EvSo, EvSo. So think of Events Solutions. So EvSo for Event Solutions, which is a full-service event management company. She began her hospitality career at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company, where she developed a strong foundation in luxury service and sales. And after 17 years with an award-winning third-party event management firm, what she did there is she grew the site selection, grew from site selection manager to an executive in the organization. She founded EvSo in 2023. She's recognized as an industry expert recently won an award, the 2025 Catalyst Award winner from Smart Meetings magazine, which is just a huge honor, and was recently invited to speak at IMEX, which is an industry trade show, the largest ever, and they have 16,000 people who go. Join me in welcoming Lauren Andrews to the Dunwoody Dialogues. Welcome.
Oh, well, thank you for that introduction.
That is such a great intro, and honestly, I don't think it really gives you justice. There's so many other things that you have done. It's too bad we're not in education. Professors have 20-page resumes. They actually call them a CV, I believe, if I remember that right. We don't do that in the industry, but we should, right? Imagine if you listed every single event you managed. Maybe 30 pages isn't enough.
Maybe not.
All right, let's talk a little bit about you. Just for the people in our audience that may not know what an event planner is, describe that role.
Certainly. So when it comes to planning an event, the minute you start thinking of how much is it going to cost? Where am I going to host it? What's the best date to do that? Who should I invite? What are all the different partners I need to bring in to accomplish that? That's what I do from start to finish.
That's great. If you've ever run a party, hopefully we have people watching that have had their own parties at home. You think about it, wow, the day of, you're cleaning, what do we need to make? What do we need to buy? What do we need? All of that stuff. Did you invite the right people? That's a snippet of that. And when you're looking at a corporate event with hundreds of attendees, that becomes really difficult. All right. You started in the hospitality business. Tell us a little bit about what you did. Why did you end up there? Because you went to Georgia State. Is that right?
Correct.
Did you get a degree in hospitality?
I did not. At the time, they did not have a hospitality degree.
Right.
So they had a certificate in hospitality.
Okay.
So that's why I majored in marketing. I did.
Okay. So you got a certificate, but it was a marketing degree.
Yes, correct.
You did a little bit in law, right?
Yes. So the way that happened was my professor at the time was the chief legal officer for the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company. She was amazing. And I kind of find it funny because it was an elective for me. It wasn't a class I had to take. It wasn't a core class, but it just spoke to me when I read the description. And I said,
wow.
Why not go learn this? And I am still friends with her to this day.
You were kidding.
No.
Oh, that
she is
really
the
cool.
reason I started my career at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company, was my college professor.
Tease that a little bit. You go to work at the Ritz-Carlton. I can see now why that entree was there. What did you learn from the Ritz? Do they ever? I never worked for Ritz-Carlton, so I asked this question. Do they ever get upset by people calling it the Ritz?
So when we worked there, we were, the Ritz-Carlton. So not only did you say the in front of Ritz, but you always made sure you had the dash between Ritz-Carlton. So we were very protective of the brand.
I thought so.
Yes.
What did you learn from the Ritz-Carlton, and how did you apply that to all the great things you've done?
I would say it is the best foundation I could have ever asked for any business. If I were to have left the hospitality industry, from day one, you don't sit at your desk unless you were trained properly on all that Ritz-Carlton is. So the reason I say that, we were talking about communication a little while ago. Whether it's written or verbal, they help you, when it comes to how to present yourself, how to communicate with clients or guests. Also, teamwork makes the dream work. That's my tagline as EvSo, but at the same time, at the Ritz-Carlton, it's all hands on deck. If you see somebody at the front desk or in the events department that needs help, go over there and help that person. Ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen is not just for the guests. It's we would call internal guests as in your coworkers, and external guests as in truly the guests that are staying within the hotel.
So I love putting people on the spot. This is not a question we talked about.
Okay.
There are folks that say, "Why should I dress nice?" Right? It's my performance should be all that you care about. At Ritz-Carlton, presentation is important. What did Ritz say about that?
So when I worked there,
The Ritz-Carlton. I need to make sure I say that correctly.
That's okay. When I worked there, we had a very strict dress code. So you could not wear hoop earrings. They had to be studs. You had to wear closed-toed shoes. You had to wear suits. Traditionally, it was a black, gray, or tan suit. So I'm not going to say you got written up for it. That's not what I'm saying, but it was a very traditional environment. I think some things have evolved and grown over the years, but I do think, from a standpoint of showing up every day, presenting yourself in a certain manner, you can be taken more professionally, taken more seriously, I suppose.
Yeah. I think that's such an interesting thing because this is not a show about me. I have one of my kids interviewed for a job and showed up, and it was my son, showed up with a blazer and a tie on. And they commented to him like, "Wow, you're the only person that showed up with a tie and a blazer today," right? It does make a difference, and I think it's great. And the Ritz-Carlton, I know without a doubt, was key in that space, showing up really 100%, 110% or better. So that's good.
So I enjoy mentoring students. That's actually one of my passions. And so I have a whole PowerPoint slide on the way to make a best first impression. You don't have to have all the money in the world to dress. Just don't have your sunglasses on your head, or make sure you make eye contact, or give a good firm handshake. Those things are important in additional to how you present yourself.
Yeah, so good. All right. So in 2023, you founded EvSo. What made you start your own business?
So my grandfather owned his own business, and my father owned his own business. And those two men always wanted me to start my own. And my dad passed away suddenly. And when he passed away, something in me started that feeling of, you know what? This may be the time, which I will tell you, we were joking about this before this, starting your own business is not for the lighthearted. However, what I would say is I had the support of my husband and my mom and my family and my friends, and it wasn't scary. And I will say for years, it's something you may come in and out of your mind, but all of a sudden it just felt right. So that's why I decided to start my own business and stay at home more with my husband and kids and have work-life balance that I needed to achieve.
Sorry to hear about your dad. Was that recent?
It was before 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to hear about it, but what is interesting is, and I talk about this with my own kids, is that sometimes somebody passing can create something positive, and it can create the ability, the desire to do something, and maybe I should take advantage of this now. So I think that that's great. So how's it going?
Oh, it is going very well. So
of course it is, because look at all the people you know.
Well, I can say this jokingly, starting a business in Q4 is not necessarily the best time to launch a business, but it was a good time for me to pull together those marketing, materials that were needed, or start the foundation for what really kicked off in 24, hit the ground running in January. So it EvSo is doing very well, so thank you for asking.
That is fantastic. All right. So many people believe, and we kind of hit at this at the beginning, many people believe that planning an event is, you just go in, you book a hotel, like, okay, the hotel takes care of it, right? They are assuming, or a convention center for that matter, like the Georgia World Congress Center, which we affectionately call the GWCC. If I'm booking a major thing down there, don't they run it for you? Don't they?
That is one of the biggest misconceptions is, oh, well, I'm just going to work with the CSM. They're the ones that plan my event.
What's a CSM?
Oh, thank you. I do talk in acronyms. Either a conference or a convention services manager.
Okay.
So the person that works on behalf of the venue. So I remember working at the Ritz-Carlton. People would call our CSMs and just say, okay, so I need you to order this. I need you to help me with the agenda. I need you to help me select this. In the hotels, that's not exactly what their expertise is. So what we specialize in is helping save our clients time and money. So people don't even know that our jobs exist. I will say that many times people say, I didn't even know meeting planning was a thing. So, we save our clients time, from that standpoint. On average, it could be 20 hours, upwards of 100 hours. If it's for site selection and contracting, we do not charge our clients for our services. We are recognized as an IATA certified company, which means the U.S. government has to give us an IATA number, and we are compensated by the hotels because they want us to bring them more business.
Do you remember what IATA stands for?
I know it as transportation is the T, International Airport Transportation Association.
Okay. IATA, and they've been around forever. And you used to have a number when you booked somebody's reservation on a plane or at a hotel, and you'd get a commission.
Yeah, absolutely. So now it's transformed into the hotel industry. So you're not, Marriott's really the one that started the crackdown on making sure that you had to be a certified third party to receive IATA commission.
Sure. I'm going to backtrack. You just said that it doesn't cost any money, right? So you only get your revenue from the commission, or do you have other fees that could be incurred by a large company that's running an event?
So great question. So I'm going to answer that twofold. Number one is EvSo does not receive any markups on anything. So if we are working with you from an event management standpoint, then we have a statement of work with you that talks about an hourly rate or the number of hours or a project management fee. So those are our event services.
Right.
If you're talking about markups or commissions on anything else, we are transparent and we only receive the industry standard, which is disclosed in your hotel contract. So it is not a side deal or anything that's a plus.
That's good.
That is not.
There is a piece that is super interesting, kind of back to law, where someone is signing a contract with a hotel and they don't know what they're doing. This isn't their specialty. They run a law firm, but they don't book hotels, or they're a finance firm. They can tell you which stock to buy, or maybe they run a restaurant, and they start to negotiate a contract with a hotel company for a meeting. That can be a little bit dangerous. Not dangerous, maybe a little
No,
too
it can
big,
be.
right?
Yeah.
What do you do to help someone that is in that space?
That's a great question. So I think you teed it up perfectly. People can look at a contract and say, oh, my dates are correct, and oh, my room block's correct. Okay, everything else should be good. Well, those contracts can be upwards of 16, 17 pages. And another tagline I like to use is one word can cost you thousands.
Right.
Because if there's a word that says not, or there's a word that says per night, or the cancellation clause is triple what it should be. So what I like to say is I love redlining a contract. And hoteliers that work with me know that it is something that I like. We have our own hotel contract template as EvSo. That's reviewed by our hospitality attorneys. So we know, after working on the hotel side, actually my team, my staff has worked at the convention centers. We've worked at hotels. We've worked at catering companies. So we know the fair fare of what to ask for. So I think that expertise in itself, going through and making sure that there's no gotchas, and, from a standpoint of wanting to make sure the hotel knows what's coming their way, because there are times where setup times, teardown times are very important, because the client may think I get that extra setup time when the hotel thinks or not thanks, it all needs to be in writing, by the way.
Right.
There's one thing I can say, make sure
Right.
everything is in writing and countersigned.
Hotels are designed to make money, as you and I both know.
Yeah.
And you talk about setup times. Well, if a hotel can find a way to sell a meeting room in the morning before your evening gala, they're going to do that, and they need to do that. So if the setup for your gala includes a stage, because you're coming in with a band, and then all of this, you probably need, 6 hours of setup. Well, if the hotel's booked something in that space before that 6 hours, I mean, it is what it is. And the hotel's going to try to do that unless you hold the space correctly.
Yeah.
That is the power of professionalism, which means you know what you're doing.
Yes. Well, I have a great example from a convention center side that we're working through right now is the event dates are different than your load-in dates. So your event might kick off on a Monday. That is not the day that you pick up your space. You need to be picking up your space. To your point, more than 6 hours if you're doing convention center size. But nonetheless, it is something that if you don't do it for a living, that's kind of what we were going back to. You know, you don't think through all those details of what it takes to set up the booths or set up the stage or all the things you're talking about.
So you just saw one of the things that we all get wrong. Here I am saying 6 hours. Lauren's going to say, Mark, you need 24. You need 2 days, right? And so that's why we need you to help us plan our programming, because you can say, okay, here's the pitfalls. You need more time, and that makes total sense, right? Once you start to look at it. But if you haven't thought about it, talk about it, gotcha. Have you ever had a cancellation on a program?
I have. Did you see my eyes? Yes, I have.
I have no idea if the camera was on her, but that was
not
classic.
planned, yes.
But so cancellation is a very interesting thing, because the hotel needs to make sure that they can sell that space, and they have a commitment. And if they've committed to holding the space for a program, they can't sell it to anybody else. So the cancellation is there for a good reason. How do you manage cancellation? Because you've got hotel partners and you've got your client, but the client went like, I need to be able to cancel it without any penalty. What is an appropriate balance in that case? Totally on the spot. We didn't talk about this, by the way.
Yes. So I'm trying to, again, I wear both hats, right? I've been the hotel where actually the Ritz-Carlton, I can't remember ever canceling on a group. So just a plug for Ritz-Carlton. However, I understand that we are in the business where you have to do what's best for the hotel at times.
Sure.
So the example of where we got canceled on is our event was about a 600-person conference, and the hotel that we were at could host groups of 2,400 people. So although we felt like we were a big group, they had a pharmaceutical company come in 6 weeks before our event and offer them
big money,
a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they, quote unquote, walked us to another property. So to go back to what your question is, how do you handle cancellation? Well, when we got notification, immediately found another property, discussed with the hotel the fact that we had 5 to 6 weeks and we'd already done our menus and our exhibitors had already started maybe shipping their booths and things of that nature. So cancellation isn't just writing a check, and it's not just as easy as it sounds on the hotel side, because from a planning side, there's so much communication. Flights have already been booked, if you think about it that way. We were very fortunate to be in a first-tier city, and I have amazing partnerships, and this was the time I can joke that I would start calling personal cell phones, like of friends, and saying,
help,
I need you, I need this. So within 72 hours, we already had found them a new location. And not only did over half of the conference get paid for by that hotel that canceled, they paid for our offsite event at a theme park the entire evening. And that's not something the client could have afforded before. So it was a really great benefit for the attendees.
That is and this is something that non-hoteliers don't understand. That again, they're in the business to make money, and a pharmaceutical company comes in and offers a lot of money to host a program. Yeah, they're going to move you, right? And so contracts need to protect the meeting. And actually, I was thinking the other side. Hotels can cancel a program as well as a program itself can cancel, right? It goes both ways. All right, I want to ask you this because this is super important, and I'm looking at time. And this is something you expressed before we started recording that you think is really important. share with me what advice you would have for someone coming into this space. You're going to talk to that Georgia State student. They've just gotten, well, they get a hospitality degree now.
Yeah.
They just got their hospitality degree. What do you tell them?
First of all, go Panthers. I would tell them, become close with your professors. I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for that professor that believed in me. That professor told me you would be really good in the hospitality field. So go to your professors, find out who they know, network. So I know that's uncomfortable when you're a student. What do you mean network? So there's all kinds of local associations. Like for us, we have MPI, which is Meeting Professionals International. We have SITE, which is Society for Incentive Travel. Forget what the E stands for. I'm so sorry, SITE. We have PCMA. We have all these different organizations where they want students to come and network and meet and mentor. You can get a mentor through these associations. Take these opportunities because we live in a city, I'll just talk about Dunwoody in Atlanta. We are so fortunate to have so many Fortune 500 companies right here. And those planners come to these types of industry events. So you have the opportunity to volunteer. That's another really big thing for me. So, there could be a conference that's being hosted and they want students to come work the registration desk, or, you can come shadow a meeting planner for a day. LinkedIn's really big. I'm really trying hard to emphasize with my niece who's graduating from Virginia Tech, go Hokies, just the importance of anybody, your neighbors, your family, your friends' parents, whatever it may be. Start networking and getting connected because you never know where your first job opportunity is going to come. The last thing I would say is internships. If anybody ever offers you an opportunity, even if you say that's not really in the industry I'm thinking of, you never know because it's not easy to come about a job graduating right off the bat. So you might intern there in marketing, but then you meet the person in finance and you're like, oh, actually, I didn't think that's something I'd enjoy. So just try it. Just try it. Let your guard down.
I can't emphasize internships enough.
Yeah.
We have 3 marketers in our office. All of them came through our internship program.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And here's why. From the business perspective, if I may take that side,
yes.
You can too, because I know you had internships in many places in your past. We bring in our interns, we get to see how they work. How do they engage with the people in the office? Are they excited about the work? Are they smart? Are they creative? And it is through those opportunities that it reduces the risk. And I do see it. When you hire somebody in a business, there's risk involved because it's going to cost money to train them. You're going to make an investment of time. And if you hire someone that doesn't work out, you lose. There are financial reasons, but it's also all the time and all the energy and not to mention morale. So an intern, you get to, if you will, you're test driving them,
100%.
right? And you can see if they're going to work out. So interns are so important. I can't emphasize that enough. All right, we've been far-reaching. We've covered the entire globe of event management. Not really, by the way, but for this at least. Where can people find out more about EvSo and about you?
Thank you for asking. EvSo.co, and I'm going to go ahead and plug that we are doing a website refresh, so please do not judge me. I know I said I was a marketing major. Just give me about 3 months, and that will look much better. But right now, EvSo.co, LinkedIn. So we have an EvSo page as well as my personal LinkedIn is on there. So just Lauren Andrews right here in the Atlanta area. But I do work worldwide. So just excited to connect with anybody out there that's has an upcoming event, anything that's 10 rooms or more. Please reach out. Happy to help.
That's fantastic. Lauren, I love that you had time to come talk to us today. We have known you for a long, long while. And so we'll continue that relationship. Glad to hear things are going well at EvSo. There's no surprise. Talking about networking, you know a lot of people in the industry, which makes your success, I don't want to say guaranteed, but it certainly helped a lot.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank Discover Dunwoody because you all started, I know, a little over 3 years ago is when I met Treasure at a networking event. And from that day forward, you all epitomize what hospitality is all about, relationship driven. I couldn't do my job without CVBs, and I truly mean that. From a standpoint of, you have programs like You Fly, We Buy. So if anybody needs to come in to physically see the properties or see the restaurants like you're talking about, you help create the agenda, you help keep us organized. So as much as clients hire me to help make their lives easier, I lean on my partnerships with CVBs and national sales offices with the hotel brands. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you. CVBs, what does that stand for?
Oh, Convention and Visitors Bureau. So DMOs, so Destination Management Organizations. They're the same thing. Sorry, lots of acronyms.
But thank you very much. And we can always do better, and we're always trying to figure out how can we just step up a little bit more. So and having you come in and talk to us today is part of that. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching. I'm Mark Galvin, your host here. This show is produced by Discover Dunwoody, the destination marketing organization for the city of Dunwoody. Our director, our producer, our technical extraordinaire is Madison Holtz. We always love the work that she's doing there behind the board. And we want you to know this. We give out free Dunwoody stickers. So if you would like a Dunwoody sticker, you can go a lot of places here in Dunwoody. Go to the library, go to City Hall, go to NFA Burger, go to Sproul, go to Barn. By the way, David Avis over at Barn is opening a new restaurant called Stable. It'll be open in April. Go look out for that information. You'll find that really cool. And he's going to have more Dunwoody stickers over there at Stable. So get your Dunwoody sticker. We'd love for you to have one. Thank you for watching. As always, we want you to know we offer a lot of services out there to make your fun, to enhance your time here in Dunwoody. Go to discoverdunwoody.com, learn all about Dunwoody, or check out our social media. Our handle is Discover Dunwoody. Especially check out our Instagram feed. We do a really great job of going out and getting our boots on the ground at all the restaurants. We have a brand new coffee shop opening called Foxtail. It's over in Ashford Lane. We were there this morning getting content. Lauren, thank you for joining us today. I love your connection to the hospitality industry at the Ritz-Carlton and then everything that you did beyond. We wish you the very best, and maybe you should come back and give us some updates in the future.
I would love that. But thank you to you and your team for everything you do.
Oh, it is our pleasure. And to all of you, thank you for watching. Now, come discover Dunwoody.